Welcome to OCA, a special podcast for special people. Our mission is for OCA to enable individuals and families with autism or other disabilities the opportunity to maximize their abilities. Over the past 15 years, we have grown from an idea to a full community of professionals serving the Central Florida community. We're excited to share our favorite memories, tips, and experiences with you. And we hope to inspire you to get involved too. Ready to get started? Let's dive in.
Hello, OCA family, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Margaret, COO of OCA, and I'm so glad you're back for another episode. Today, I want to talk about what makes OCA accessible to the community. More importantly, talking about the cost of our services and what we can do to make them reasonable for families with children with special needs. So when we started a conversation about OCA, we committed to providing high-quality, low-cost programming. That was almost 15 years ago, and we take that stance very seriously to this day. There are two components to this statement, so let's break it down a little bit. When we talk about high-quality programming, that may just seem like a word we threw out there. But what we did to understand what was currently happening in our industry is some of our administrative team and some of our board members have looked at programming both in our local area and around the country. Some of us has traveled to Texas and Illinois. We've done a lot of research to understand what was already available before OCA was here. When we looked at our community at large, we had to look at a lot of typical programs for neurotypical children because not every community has specialized programming for individuals with special needs. What we found at that time was that childcare was typically a 1-to-6 ratio for preschool kiddos, or a 1-to-25 for school-age kiddos, with a variety of activities offered. Adult services were offered in a 1-to-10 ratio, typically, and we're limited to sheltered workshops with a focus on about a 6-hour day of vocational tasks. And we all felt collectively that this was not acceptable or adequate, and it motivated us to think outside of the box in all areas. So that leads us to what OCA is currently offering, and for those of you who know us, it's a lot. There's a plethora of programming here that is focused on surpassing the industry standards and meeting the needs of our community. Our current adult programming is offered across several ratios. We have a 1-to-2, 1-to-3, 1-to-5, 1-to-8, and we offer diverse activities, including vocational training and interest-driven activities to stimulate our participants and to keep them physically healthy. Because those that know us, we focus on mind, body, and spirit being healthy. Our recreation program offers after-school and school break care options at a 1-to-3 or a 1-to-5. And we also offer year-round Special Olympics training and a regionally recognized theater company for special needs. Running Man Theater Company is Central Florida's premier inclusive theater. Where else can you find that stuff? Our therapy program offers 1-to-1 services and group services with below-market private pay rates for those that do not have other funding options. However, if you didn't know, we also provide wraparound support to every single client in this program. In all of our programs, we provide behavior analysts and behavior technicians across all programs at no additional cost to any of the families. In addition to that, we ensure that all of our direct care professionals are highly qualified by training them as behavior technicians using the curriculum from Positive Behavior Supports, which is similar to what's used in the school system, and professional crisis management. Our staff is truly amazing, and we try to equip them with all the skills necessary to make them successful every single day. And let's really talk about the activities. Anyone that has experienced our programming knows that our daily schedule is truly a wild ride. We always have something going on here at OCA. We ensure that all participants receive a cooking class, an art class, a PE class, and dance class at no additional cost to them. We make sure our participants are integrated into the community with outings provided multiple times a week and guests invited to come in and share their talents as often as possible. In the summer, we have the Zoo Mom come in, we have the library come do performances, we have had a band. It's really exciting to be here. And all of these components ensure that we are truly offering a high quality product. So that's what high quality programming really means to us. But what does low cost programming really mean? The cost of a product is a culmination of goods and services that go into it. So each hour of service that's provided at OCA, that includes expenses of staffing, both direct care and behavioral support. That's the cost of materials and the cost of overhead, which is the building that we're in. Each week of service provided includes transportation costs, the cost to ensure our safety protocols, building maintenance, clinical oversight, and support to staff to ensure their mental health and personal well-being is maintained. We absolutely can't run our programs without our staff, so we have to make sure that they are healthy and well in addition to our participants. I'm sure you get the picture. If you've bought groceries lately or hired a handyman, you know that prices are on the rise and it gets harder and harder to make ends meet. The same is true for us. Our organization is suffering the same expenditures that you may experience in your day-to-day life. So in order for us to ensure that these costs are not passed to our consumers, OCA has committed to focusing our efforts on fundraising all year long. In fact, if you didn't know, a third of our operation budget is provided by grants, sponsorships, and fundraising efforts to ensure that our services are affordable for families. Each service that we offer has an advertised cost of a minimum of 25% below the cost to provide the actual service. In addition, we budget each year to have scholarship funds available for those families that continue to struggle to afford our already low costs. This is why fundraising efforts are so important. We have to ensure that the families that benefit from our services can actually access them. Every dollar donated to OCA makes an immediate and robust impact to our direct services. $50 donated can provide 2 days of aftercare service. $100 can provide 3 weeks of extended care. $250 can give us 3 hours of therapy, and $500 gives 2 scholarships for our theater program. We cannot continue to support our community without the support of our community. If you are a parent of a child with special needs, you already know why it's so important to keep the costs affordable. But if you aren't, let me break it down for you. Having a child is expensive, but having a child with special needs is exponentially more. The National Institute of Health says a child with a disability costs around $8,000 a year more than a typically developing child. This cost doesn't include about 80 hours a week of parent care or caregiver care that reduces their ability to work. The CDC says a child with autism costs up to $60,000 more per year in additional expenses, including therapies and specialized product lines. Just looking in Central Florida, just looking in Orlando itself, the median household income is only $58,000 per year, so you feel free to do the math. In order to provide high-quality services to our family and friends in Central Florida, we have to ensure that we shatter the barriers of cost and truly provide a low-cost service. We will save elaborating on the value of these services for a later chat, but I'm pretty sure you already know that our participants thrive with our support on a daily basis. And without our services, many families would be lost and alone in their journey. If you or anyone you know have a capacity to provide even the smallest amount towards keeping our services low cost, please reach out to me at mnewman@gooca.org, and I will be happy to walk you through the process to donate and get involved and answer any questions you may have. But thank you so much for tuning in this week for another episode of our podcast. We can't thank you enough for spending a few minutes of your day with us. If you want to find out more about OCA, log on to gooca.org, follow us on Instagram at OCA4U, and follow us on Facebook at OCA, a special place for special needs. To donate, which we've already established is really important, head to oca-giving.org, and to make a free and immediate impact, leave a review of our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share it with a friend. See you again soon for another episode of OCA, a special podcast for special people.